A growing number of states in Nigeria's conflict-hit northern region are setting up community-based vigilante patrol units to tighten security in villages where violent killings and kidnappings are rife. Fatigued by the ongoing Islamist insurgency in the northeast, the country's security forces have struggled with limited resources in fighting armed gangs active in remote locations, where the government is largely absent. Here's a report from Kaduna.
In Nigeria's northern city of Kaduna, just 100 kilometers from where 300 school children were kidnapped and taken into forest enclaves last month, a local vigilante group called Civilian Joint Task Force is up and running. Its goal is to protect local communities from armed terrorist groups. A survivor of a kidnapping attempt, Emmanuel Audo Bature, says he joined the group to help protect his community.
I joined the CJTF because of the fact that the kidnappers have been rampaging this community, and there was a time I was also kidnapped, and as a victim, I was taken to their camp and I spent a week in the camp. It was not a funny experience. I was really beaten, threatened to be killed.
Fatigued by the ongoing Islamist insurgency in the northeast, Nigeria's security forces have struggled with limited resources in fighting armed gangs active in remote locations where the government is largely absent. These vigilante groups are believed to have an advantage over state security forces in that they are intimately familiar with the territories and forests where armed gangs operate. Their objective is to provide security in villages with no state security presence. But many of the groups are poorly equipped and they function largely without any oversight.
Up to 80% trust us with what we are doing, even though there are some political reasons why some people will not trust us, because some people are having interest in these insecurity issues that we're having, and those who are having interest, I don't think they will support us. Why? Because what we do, we don't wait for anybody to give us any order from anywhere. Once we see what is happening is wrong, we just engage and see how we address the issue.
Experts on terrorism caution that the proliferation of these groups may eventually lead to easily accessible weapons being grabbed by bad actors. They say that terrorists are only trying to use kidnappings to get the attention of the government.
If you don't control these guys that are carrying arms to protect their community, I think criminal elements will capitalize on that opportunity and explore that opportunity in their criminal enterprise. So I think the government should, give these guys effective training. If need be, they want to permit them to carry out arms. They must be trained on weapon handling and soft arms handling, so that they don't use that gun to turn around and kill their own people.
With the federal government in charge of policing and the military, state governments are increasingly turning to community vigilante groups to secure villages dominated by gangs. Despite lacking resources and training provided to state security forces, these groups remain committed to their communities in difficult circumstances. Bureau Report, WION The World is One.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.